All right, today we're going to continue chapter 2. We're looking at solving one-step equations. A lot of things that we're doing in chapter 2 deals with solving equations, right? If you'll notice up on the board, every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're solving equations. Obviously, they get more involved each day. So today we're starting a little bit simpler. This is stuff that you all should have seen last year. We're just going to use it a lot more, okay? Now, here's the deal. We really need to know this stuff because solving equations is something we will use every single day, regardless of what we're learning, okay? We just continue to use that. So make sure we pay attention, we know how to do this, all right? So first, I just want to start with this so we know why it is that we can do these things, all right? If I have this, 14 is equal to 14, right? We know both of those numbers are the same. If I change one side, like I want one side to be equal to 17, how could I make that happen? Add 3. Now, what do I also have to do to the other side to keep it equal? So, anything you do to one side of the equal sign, you have to do to the other side of the equal sign, okay? We talk about keeping those equations balanced. This is how we do it. Same thing works with subtraction, right? If I wanted to change anything about this, if I subtracted 3, I have to do that from both sides, so I would still get 6 is equal to 6. Yes? Okay, so does everybody understand? If you change anything on one side...
We need any 8th grader who has not paid for their Chromebook but has their money with them to come to the office this hour. Thank you.
Listen, if that's you, I'll send you when I'm finished, okay? All right, so anything, it doesn't matter, it's not just addition and subtraction, it's the same for multiplication and division. Anytime you change one side of an equation, you have to do that exact same thing to the other side. Yes, everybody with me? Okay, here we go. Let's look at 44 is equal to t minus 72. Now, when I'm talking about equations, what is it that I'm trying to solve for here? T. I'm trying to get a value for t, which means I need to get t by itself. So what is with t that I need to get rid of?
72.
Or negative 72, right? Even though it says t minus 72, that's the same as saying negative 72. So when we do this, you always want to do the opposite, right? So what is the opposite of subtracting 72, or what's the opposite of negative 72? Adding or a positive, okay? So if I add 72 to one side, what do you have to do to the other side? Add 72. Okay, what happens over here on the right? They're opposites, so they cancel. What does that leave you with on the right side? Just t. What's 44 plus 72? Say it again, Cage. 116. Okay? Now, here's the deal. Last year, if you remember, I made you go through every single time and check your answer, right? Okay? That was to help us learn from our mistakes. We should be at the point this year where we're not still making those mistakes, okay? Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. If I don't see you showing this work, I'm going to just add it right back in to where you have to check every single one, okay? So I should see you showing work on every problem, all right? Who wants to take this one? Nate, I saw your hand first. Okay, Nate, if I have negative 85 is equal to d plus negative 21, tell me how could I get d by itself? I want that variable all alone. How could I make that happen here?
Add 21 both sides.
But why would I add if this says plus?
Because it's a negative.
Very good. Because it is a negative, right? So this number inside's a negative 21, so I'm always going to do the opposite. So I'm going to add 21 to both sides. That way those cancel out. Negative 85 plus 21 would give you what?
Negative 64.
Very good. Okay, remember if I have one negative and one positive, I subtract the numbers, take the sign of the number further from 0. Okay? Cage. What about negative 5a is equal to 35?
You divide negative or positive 5, and it equals.
You're close. You are correct to divide.
You divide 5,
Divide by what?
negative 5,
Why would I divide by negative 5?
because
Because I want to be left with just what?
0,
Not 0. What's my variable?
A.
A. I want to be left with just A. Now, I'm going to pause for a second. You don't have to write this down. I just want to show you this, right? If you divided by positive 5, what's negative 5 divided by positive 5? So that would leave you with negative 1a is equal to 7, right? But do I want negative 1a or just a? Just a. That's why for division and multiplication, whatever sign you see, you're going to take the sign with it. Now, yes, on addition and subtraction, you're always using the opposite sign, but that's because they're different operations, all right? So those cancel. I would get a is equal to what?
Negative 7.
-7. There's an easy way to check that. Is negative 5 times negative 7 positive 35?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So let's say you made a mistake and you divided by positive 5 and you got a is equal to positive 7. Even without writing out a check, you could quickly plug that back in and just say, is negative 5 times positive 7 equal to 35? No. Okay. All right, somebody else want to try this one? Somebody that hasn't gone yet? Both of you have already gone.
I haven't gone.
Okay, Reno. Now, before you start, what's the first thing you really should do, Reno?
Get rid of the parentheses.
Okay, how would you do that?
I don't know.
What do you see there that you could fix? No, you know.
Oh.
Well, look at the problem. Look at the problem. What part of that problem looks different from what we really would want it to say?
There's a minus sign and a negative.
Okay, how would you fix the double minus sign? Minus the negative.
Change it into addition.
And
And positive.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Reno. So really, this is just 20 plus t, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you get t by itself?
Yeah.
How?
20.
Good.
Both sides.
So that cancels. Do I really have to worry about these two positive signs here? No. It's just going to be t equal to what?
18.
Good. Okay. All right, Nick. It's same idea, right? Fix what first?
Negative 56 plus that.
Okay, so change it to addition, change the sign. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So really it's just negative 56 plus s, all right? How am I going to get s by itself?
Plus 56.
Do the opposite of what you see, so I'm going to add 56 to both sides. Those are opposites, they cancel. You would get s is equal to what?
7.
74. You already knew it.
Are you sure, or are you saying that because somebody else said it?
Because someone else said it.
Okay. You want to check it and make sure? You should.
Plus 8 equals 24 plus 58 is
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
8 plus 6. And technically 8 plus 6 would equal 4 if you add
Okay.
those.
All right. 1/5 of t. Hey, stay with me, please. 1/5 of t is equal to negative 7. I'm going to give anybody else a chance first before I let Abby. What do you think?
You would multiply 5 over 1 to the side.
Good. Now, on this side, do I really need to put this one over 1?
No.
Not really, because It would just, I could put both of those as a fraction, but it's not going to change anything, okay? So, good, multiply by the reciprocal, those cancel, right? And you would get t is equal to what?
-35.
Good. Now, again, you can easily check that because if I took 1/5 of -35, that does give you -7, okay? Now, that also could be written like this. Instead of 1/5, it could maybe be written like x over 7 is equal to -2, right? What operation is being shown right here with x and 7? Division. So what's the opposite of division?
Multiplication.
Okay, so same thing here. I'm going to multiply both sides by 7, right? Now, if you want to put this over 1, if that kind of helps you see that better, you can. You don't have to, but those 7s are going to cancel because one on top, one on bottom would give you x is equal to what?
-14.
Good, -14. Okay. Ooh, yeah, this is a good one. Oh, Nate, you want this one?
I have my hand.
Okay. Let's do 4/7 is equal to x plus 3/5.
Subtract 3/5.
Yeah, now let me ask you this question first. If you know you're going to subtract 3/5, can you subtract that from 4/7 the way it's written right now?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
okay.
would it make sense to go ahead and find common denominator first? Yes, what would that be?
35.
Okay, change this first one to a fraction over 35 by multiplying by,
5.
what would that give you?
20 over 35.
Okay, what about this one? What would you multiply by?
7.
And that would give you,
21 over 35.
okay. Now, this is only going to apply if you're doing what two operations?
Addition or subtraction.
Addition or subtraction. Because if you're multiplying and dividing, do you have to have common denominator?
No.
No, just for addition and subtraction. All right? Now you can subtract 21 over 35. Sorry, it's kind of messy and I ran out of room. But those cancel. What is 20 over 35 minus 21 over 35 give you?
-1 over 35.
Good. Sorry, I apologize. I ran out of room, so it's not very neat. But okay, do you have a question or you want the next one? Okay, good. Anybody still writing that down? Okay. While they're writing down, does anyone have questions so far on anything we've done? Anything you're not sure about, or we feel okay with it? Reno.
She was giving him a shot.
Uh-huh. That's the problem. Okay. All right. Who did I say was doing this?
Me.
Oh, Cage. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think, Cage?
So, do
Now, Cage, let me ask you this. What are you trying to get by itself?
D
Okay. And you have a fraction. How can you get rid of that fraction?
plus 2/3.
Does it say -2/3 plus d?
Oh, you divide it.
Okay, divide it, but dividing by a fraction is the same as,
Adding the fraction.
no,
Multiply.
multiplying by its,
Reciprocal.
hey, listen, you guys, I've told you 100 times. If I've called on someone, when you start giving them answers, all it does is stop the learning process for them.
Gotta make it.
Let him do it, okay? All right, tell me what I would multiply by then, Cage.
3/2, -2.
There we go. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Okay, does everything here cancel?
Yes.
Yes, because negative times a negative is a positive. So that would leave me with d is equal to what? What can I simplify on the other side?
10 and 2.
To get
5, 1.
All right. Cage, what's 5 times negative 3?
Negative 15.
Very good. Okay. Would somebody else that hasn't gone yet like to go today?
I didn't do good last time.
All right, Grayson. Rylan, you can have the next one.
How do you say it?
Okay. All right, Grayson, what are you trying to get by itself? What operation do you see? So what are you going to do? Okay, multiply by what? Okay, I'm going to put 81 over 1. Now, why would I not put 81 over C?
Cause that's not right.
Because you want to be left with C. Good. So that's why I'm using 81 over 1. Okay? Do these two 81s cancel? Yes. Because technically, would I have C over 1? But would I put C over 1? No, just C. Okay, Grayson, what about on the other side?
It would simplify the 9, or 1 and 9,
Okay,
and then get 60.
very good. 9 times 7 gives you 63. Okay? All right, last one.
You said I would do it.
No, I didn't. I said Rylan.
Oh, yeah.
Rylan doesn't sound like it.
They're important.
All right. Rylan, what if I have 3 and 1/8 is equal to 5Q?
You divide 5 first from the right side. Get rid of it.
Okay. Do I want to do that though with the way the left side looks currently?
No.
What would I want to do to that left side?
Turn it into an improper fraction.
Okay, how would you do that?
8 times 3.
Which is, what's 8 times 3?
24.
Plus 1?
25.
So you would get 25 over 8 is equal to 5Q. Alright, then you said to do what?
5 by 5.
So I'm going to divide by 5. What happens when you're dividing a fraction by 5? You're actually going to do what?
Times it by 1 over 5.
Good. Multiply by the reciprocal. Now that gets a little messy, okay? But as long as you know, if I have a fraction and I'm dividing it by something, I need to switch and multiply by the reciprocal, okay? How can you simplify that?
The 25 turns into a 5, and the 5 turns into a 1.
Okay, and then what would that give you?
1 over 8.
1 over 8?
1 8. 5 over 8.
There we go. 5 times 1 is 5, 8 times 1. Okay, so I understand that it's not the most neat way to write that out, especially when you have 5 being multiplied and you're going to divide with a fraction, but you've just got to know, if you see a fraction and you're going to divide a fraction by something, we always multiply the reciprocal. Okay? Any questions on today's? All right. Your assignment is going to be on page 86. 18 through 36, 44 through 58, and then 84 through 86 evens only. Make sure you show all your work